Forgive me if I sound a little jazzy. It's the sinuses. Better Off Dead, directed by Savage Steve Holland, who you probably know went on to direct One Crazy Summer and How I Got into College, and since then he's become a TV director. He didn't quite fall into the John Hughes like phenomenon as he hoped, but I actually liked Better Off Dead. I didn't see it in theaters, no. I saw it when it came on TV, and I instantly really liked this movie. It's one of those films that didn't become a hit in theaters, but it became a bigger. It gained quite a following on VHS and on cable TV. The film stars John Cusack as Lane Meyer, a guy who is so in love with his girlfriend Beth, played by Amanda Wise, who you probably know from A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first movie. He's so in love with her, he has his whole room decorated with her pictures. Some people would say that's not really love, that's obsession. He also has coat hangers with her picture on it. That shows you how crazy in love he is. When he tries out for the ski team, he is shut down by Roy Stalin, played by Aaron Dozier, who is the only guy who could ski the K-12 and not break a bone. He's arrogant. He makes eyes for Beth. Beth makes eyes for him, and he doesn't look at Roy with any chance of anything. So when Lane does not quite make the timing, Beth dumps him, and Lane gets put into a serious blue funk. He contemplates suicide. But I'm gonna say this. It's not a hard-hitting teen drama. This is a comedy. Will Lane's spirit get brought back up? Oh, and by the way, there is another side story with Monique, played by Diane Franklin, who is a French foreign exchange student spending with this weird mother and son called the Smiths. I think the actress name is Laura Waterbury, and her son is Dan Schneider, who he plays Ricky. One of those classic Stephen King like nerds who is creepy because he says very little. Will Lane's spirits get brought up? Well, you're gonna have to see the movie to find out. It's playing on YouTube. For how long, I don't know, but it's a pretty good comedy. I mean, you kind of feel like sometimes you feel for John Cusack's character. I mean, you really feel he's just lowered himself pretty low, and you hate the idea that he wants to contemplate suicide, but I think the film is not trying to mock suicide. It's funny because it's trying to show that suicide is not the answer. You're not better off dead as you think you are. I think Better Off Dead is really a sarcastic title, I think. Other performances are good. Curtis Armstrong as Charles DeMar. I'm surprised him being 30 and still playing a high school student, that's a pretty interesting. He was also known a year earlier for Booger for Revenge of the Nerds. I'm sure that was his most best known role. Amanda Wise was pretty good as Beth. I mean, she's pretty much the fickle type of girlfriend. You wonder why Lane is that crazy in love with her. And then there's Diane Franklin as Monique. I mean, she's I gotta say, I know she's not really French, but she does a French accent so convincingly. You forget she's American. You actually believe she is French. At no point does it ever sound like a parody. And other supporting cast do well too. There is Chuck Mitchell as at that who owns that burger restaurant. I think it's a running gag when Lane puts on the pig hat because Chuck Mitchell played Porky in the Porky's movies. David Ogren Stiers, best known for MASH, playing Lane's cantankerous father. Then there's Kim Darby as Lane's mother, who thinks she can cook, but everyone thinks she's a good Julia Childs-like cook, but when everybody else around her knows she can't cook worth nothing. And then there's Scooter Stevens as Lane's brother, this this kid who invents stuff but never says a word. He picks up trashy women, but I know there are a lot of jokes in here that just don't make sense. They don't try to make sense. They just try to get you to laugh. And then there's Damian Slade as the psychotic paperboy who just wants his $2. He's funny. Now I heard talks that John Cusack hated this movie, that he felt the movie made him look foolish and had a few bad words with director Savage Steve Holland. But John Cusack later says, "No, I don't hate this movie. I just thought it could be better, but that's how I feel about most movies I'm in. I'm glad people still like it." Well, two reasons. Either he was ashamed of how he reacted or was his reaction blown out of proportion? Well, I guess we'll never know. So I give Better Off Dead an 8 out of 10. And here's a little shout out to to Animated Gaming Squad. See? Bye bye.